Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Jeff Culbert. I got to tell you, it's been one crazy week here at Schooley's Mountain Chiropractic Center. You know, this week we're coming off of Easter, and there were so many blessings and so much happiness around Easter and Easter services this year. Can't tell you how much God has blessed myself, my family, my children, my grandchildren, and the practice at large. But here's what happened this week. Easter was beautiful. Monday was a little cloudy, started a little rain. Here in the Hackettstown area of New Jersey, Tuesday, we had torrential rain. Wednesday, we had torrential rain, and we were getting 50 and 60-mile-hour winds. In and around the area of the practice, we had power lines go down, trees come down, power go out. We had a period here in the office leading into the week where we lost our internet. We lost our phones, so nobody could call in, we couldn't call out. Our computers crashed, okay? Then on Thursday, okay, we had snow up here. And believe it or not, yesterday, if you haven't caught the news, here in Lebanon, Tewksbury, we had a 4.8 earthquake that shook the office. Ironically, just as it happened, I adjusted a patient's middle back and the whole building started to rock. I was teasing her that it must have been one of the best adjustments of my life if I rocked the world when I adjusted your mid-back. Not only did we have the earthquake at 4.8, but later on in the afternoon, we had a 4.0 aftershock that rocked the office. Through everything that went on, we happened to have a really great week of servicing our patients. We had some amazing new patients start care in our office, and it was overall a blessed week in spite of some amazing challenges. And with that, I want to lead into my topic of conversation today, that we can do all things. And as a Christian, I love to say, and I compete in Spartan races with, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Now, if that resonates with you, great. If that doesn't, I apologize, but I do believe that I share my faith with people and I let the seeds fall where they may. But I'm wearing a shirt today that my daughter gave me. And with this shirt, you'll notice that there's a person running on it and it has the world. Now, at one point in time, I was on a phenomenally long streak of working out every day. My primary purpose of my working out every single day was to make sure I was logging in a minimum of a mile a day. And trust me, during this streak, I was averaging way more than that. But I did 4,501 days during the course of this streak before I finally had to stop because long COVID took me out with stuff that was going on with my lungs and not being able to breathe. But during that 4,501 days, I had a period where for 3,528 days, basically a little over 9.5 years, I accumulated enough miles to run around the world. Now that's 24,902 miles. Now during that time, like I said, I spent 3,528 days running. I went through 25 pairs of running shoes. I went through 2 treadmills. Okay, I'm still on one of the treadmills, but I went through 2 treadmills. I completed 24 Spartan races, 5 Tough Mudders, 2 city challenges, 1 bone frog, and I conquered the world. And my point of this and this conversation is truly, when you set your mind to anything, you can do all things. And there's 7 areas of our life that we should be paying attention to. And if you're a fan of ULA, there's 5 F's. That's that of faith, family, friends, fitness, finances, field, and fun. So if you break down your life as a wheel, and those are the spokes to your wheel, you should have balance with all of those areas for goals in your life. You should have faith goals, you should have family goals, you should have friend goals, you should have financial goals, you should have fitness goals, you should have goals for what you're doing in your chosen field of work, and you should have goals for what you're doing for fun. So for me, fitness is a very big part of my life, and I choose fitness goals. You know, obviously, I love what I do chiropractically. It serves my purpose here on earth. You know, basically, again, chiropractic, Schooley's Mountain Chiropractic Center, our primary goal is to get you well, keep you well with a lifetime of care and service, and always be able to guide you in the right direction. So again, that is the purpose of what I do for a living. It is to serve humanity and to serve the people in my community with health and wellness. Because if you don't have your health and you're not well, nothing else is going to jive and move forward for you in your life. You're not going to be able to achieve any of your faith goals, your family goals, your friend goals, your financial goals, your fun goals, and achieve your financial goals if your body's mind, body, and spirit are not gelling so that you can achieve what you need to achieve. I like to think my body is the temple that God resides in. And from there, I'm going to try to maintain as healthy and as fit a body as I possibly can. And please understand, just because you are physically fit and you can do a level of activity does not mean that you are healthy. Going into COVID, I was both very fit and very healthy. I ended up going through and seeing a longevity doctor. And on my initial baseline, while I was testing at just shy of 60 years old, that was my chronological age. My biological age happened to be 38 years old. Now, during COVID, I got hit with a lot of things. I had AFib, I had liver problems, I had prostate problems, and that cycled through a couple of times. I had a cardiac ablation and a cardioversion. I had prostatitis, liver enzymes through the roof. I literally went jaundiced. Then I came down with COVID, and not only that, I came down with long COVID. My pleura of my lungs, the covering, got so inflamed, I literally couldn't breathe. One point in time, I was adjusting a patient, told my staff I have to go home. I can't breathe today. So until we figured that out and what to do, I was getting racked. So while I was physically fit, my body found a way and to tell me that I was not as healthy as I had thought I was, because something got in my system. Now, we think I had gotten exposed to COVID during a Spartan race and that I was an asymptomatic carrier of COVID for a while. Now, the good news of that is, as I was asymptomatic, I was still seeing patients. Nobody came in and got COVID from the office because of that. So that dispelled the proof that asymptomatic, being a carrier of COVID, you would be dangerous to spreading it. If you don't have symptoms of expelling that virus out of your system, it's just not going to leave your system. You need to force it out. Viruses love their host. They don't love the environment. So Jack Campbell out in England is a great presentation. If you can still find that on YouTube and you have any questions about it, look at his stuff, Jack Campbell on YouTube. And the guy is phenomenal. He's a retired nurse. He's a retired professor at Oxford or Cambridge teaching nurses how to be great nurses. And he backs up everything with solid documentation. So I trust him implicitly, probably more than I trust the CDC and the WHO and Fauci for everything that he was saying during that time. Now, love me or hate me for that statement, but again, I go through and I explore a lot of different things so that I can bring to my patients and to the YouTube community what I think is unbiased opinion. So I think I've done my due diligence and research to be able to say these things and then have the evidence or the places that you can go to back that up and find that out if that's what you choose to do. So during my journey, while I was healthy and fit, I became very non-healthy, but still fit for a while, and then came at that point where I had long COVID and I couldn't breathe. I was no longer fit. I was no longer healthy. And that rocked my world because my whole life has been bent on I can be very healthy and very fit at the same time. So during this process, again, visiting the longevity doctor, now I'm 63 and a half. And now at 63 and a half, my biological age shrunk from 38 years. And now I'm representing 63. And I am now at 58 years in terms of biological age. So it really hit me and racked me. And it ended up costing me 20 years of an extra longevity curve. So over the course of the last year, now at 64, now I have a chronicle age of 64, but my biological age now is starting to go back so that I'm actually younger again than I was. So again, where you can be healthy, you can be fit, and you can be very biological young versus your chronological age, you can lose that in a heartbeat. And again, if you lose it, you can always regain it back. So my conversation with people today is going to be is that if you are not, one, as healthy as you would like to be, two, as fit as you would like to be, you can start to regain these things and start to reclaim your body at any age. My way of thinking about it is, until you stop breathing, there is always room and always hope for improvement of both your health status and your fitness status. And if we can improve both health and fitness, you are going to be able to carry on and achieve the goals that you will have for the other 6 F's in the ULA lifestyle. And ULA just stands for awesome. So I'm here at 64. I'm hoping to get to 120 or beyond, and I'll explain that in a moment. But again, I'm trying to focus on now, as I've regained my fitness, because that is gone. The long COVID is gone. The breathing is better. The fog is gone. Just the crazy aches and pains and everything that was going on with long COVID was gone. And if you're interested in finding out what that is all about, talk to your primary health care physician, or if you know somebody that is in alternative health, there is what is known as a cytokine 14 panel. You can visit covidlonghaulers.com. You can order this blood test. They will run a panel for you, cytokine 14, and give you a score. Whether you're 0 to 0.7, you're normal, no long COVID. 0.7 to 20, you've got long COVID. When I did my test, it tested out at 13.5, and from there, they ended up putting me on a medication I never thought I would go on. 1 was a statin, and 2 was an HIV medication. And this was all in the process of bringing down that level of inflammation that long COVID caused, especially in my lungs. And it took about 6, 7, 8 months for me to get a repeat test and have a score of a 0.39. So I'm normal. Long COVID is gone. I'm breathing better now. My mental clarity is there. The physical fitness, the energy, the drive, and the thrive is back in my life. So again, can be done, but I want to let you know it's never accomplished with one big thing at a time. So take care and take stock of your fitness. What are the things that you can do, and what are the things that you would like to do? Okay, most of us as we age, we're losing muscle mass, we're losing bone density, we're losing strength, we're losing flexibility, we're losing cardiovascular fitness, we're starting to lose some things cognitively. And those things do not have to happen. I had seen a YouTube presentation that was done with the oldest person on the planet. Now, I don't know if this woman is still alive. At the time that she had done her interview and it was posted on Facebook, she was 122 and a half years old. Her comment was, my lifestyle had very, very little to do with what are the things that I was doing in my life. She admitted she had smoked until she was 117, and she drank until she was 120. Okay, those would be a couple of things you would say, not maybe necessarily the best to have a conducive and a very long lifestyle. Part of her interview was that my lifestyle had everything to do with my attitude. And if you go back to Lance Armstrong, again, love him or hate him because of the drugs that he took and how that blew up his career, when he had cancer, he said, knowledge is power, but attitude is everything. So this woman confirms that. And what she would do for her attitude is she would wake up, she said, every morning laughing. And she would go to bed every evening laughing. And it was her goal to laugh as often as she possibly could during the course of the day. Now, there is an old adage out there that says laughter is the best medicine. And there's numerous books and doctors and people who have beaten cancer by going through a protocol and a program of making sure they were laughing abundantly every day. So laughter is the best medicine. When you come here to Schooley's Mountain Chiropractic Center, myself and my staff, we charge ourselves with making every single patient that walks through the door and is in the sphere of our influence for the time that they're here, we absolutely have to have them laugh, smile, or giggle. Now, if we fail to do that, okay, that's on us, because we recognize, one, as a chiropractor in dealing with the body and the nervous system, that you have basically 2 pathways in your body. You can either be relaxed and happy or upset and tense. You can't be both at the same time. You know, my mom was a genius, because when I was a little kid and I was madder than a hornet and I was pissed off at the world, she used to tell me, Jeff, you have every single right to be mad and upset. But if you're going to be mad and upset, don't let me see you smile. And inevitably, as soon as your mom says, don't smile, okay, Jeff, don't smile. You're allowed to be mad and pissed. You would start smiling. You would start laughing. You would start giggling. And before you knew it, you were no longer mad and pissed off and angry at the world or whoever happened to kick your cat that day. So my mom knew that if you were laughing, you could not be upset. And we do that with our patients. We are bombarded with somewhere between 60,000 and 66,000 negative thoughts every single day. Now, we only have roughly 72,000 seconds within the day, so the vast majority, roughly 80% of our day, is bombarded with negativity. And patients come in here with that negativity carried on them, the heaviness, the weight of the world, the stress and the anxiety, the tension that's going on between people crossing the border illegally, what's going on with inflation, what's happening over the world in the Ukraine and in Israel, what's going on with the presidential debates. You don't like Biden, you don't like Trump, Trump is going to jail and Biden's, lost his mind. Whatever it is, we are bombarded. Okay, and people carry that with them. Am I going to have a job as things go crazy with the economy? What's going to happen to my kids? What's going to happen if I'm pulling money out of my savings? What's going to happen to my IRA? Am I going to have to work forever now? It's much harder for us economically to live in these times. So people are carried with stress all day long. I want them to be relaxed and happy and smile. As soon as that occurs, the nervous system relaxes, the tension leaves their body, the adjustment is so much more smooth and easy. It's not hard. The patient's body accepts it. And then as I make the adjustment, the nerve is released from the tension with that spinal tension. And from there, muscles, joints, organs, glands, and skin all start to function better. So again, it's one of the things that we charge ourselves to do. Building a healthy body reflects a healthy and a happy mind, and vice versa. We've all heard of the mind-body connection, and you have to realize that the mind and the body are connected by the nervous system. And if there's things that are interfering with the nervous system, such as stress, whether it's physical stress, emotional stress, or biochemical stress, your body gets overloaded. It gets tense. It's in fight, fright, or flight mode. And again, with everything that goes on with 24/7 news, cell phones, computers, and our just access to everything that we could possibly ever want to know or do, okay, via the means of the internet and the computer, we have very little down, rest, and relax time, okay? So with all of that, you can see very easily how this is going to affect you and how what's going on in the world can affect your body, it affects your mind. And if it affects your body and your mind, it affects your spirit, and it brings you down. And the sooner you get stressed out and overburdened, fatigue sets in. You start eating a little worse. Your posture slouts, aches and pains come on, and stress will always find a way to hit you where you're weakest. So it's the job of a chiropractor to identify where are the subluxations that are occurring in your body, adjust those to reset those circuit breakers so nerves are working better, muscles, joints, organ, gland, and skin is working better. And as your body's working better, your mind starts to work better. And then you start to be able to take control of your life. We were given the ability to have a mind and have free choice. And one thing I learned ages ago, nothing has any meaning than the meaning that you choose to give it. So when we're dealing with all the craziness in the world, you can choose to take on that negativity and let it beat you up. You can choose to do a different path. A little while ago, I had done a video here on YouTube that basically went over how I end my day. Okay, so as I'm ending my day, I gave the example that, yeah, I'm not a big fan of President Biden. I don't like him. I don't like his policies. And I don't like the direction that the country has gone under his administration. But my dislike for him doesn't mean that I don't show him grace and I don't offer him prayers, because Jesus taught us that, yes, love your friends, your family, and those that you resonate with. But you also have to love your enemies, okay? Because as your enemies have that hate that animosity applied to them, that's resistance. And most of us, when we're being pushed, we tend to push back. We fail to realize that life is a dance. When somebody's pushing, maybe we need to pull them along, okay? And when we start to push, maybe they need to pull us along. It's a dance of life. We learn that there are pros and cons to everyone. There's got to be some good in the Biden administration and what they want to accomplish. I don't resonate with most of it, but I do pray for the man, and I do pray for the administration. I'm a big Trump fan, as I will admit to anybody. I am a conservative, Republican, libertarian, Tea Partyan. Okay, I love smaller government and freedom of choice and less rules and less regulation. But again, because there's people that are after Trump and prosecuting him, I still offer love to them because I understand if I'm harboring a dislike for somebody, that affects my internal energy and my vibration with the world. And that's setting up a block, okay, because I truly believe in universal concepts of energy. And if my energy is riding high, I'm attractive to people. People like and resonate with me. But if I've got something that's negative, beating up and eating at me, that negativity brings down my energy. And as the energy of my soul and my body vibrates less attractively, that goes out to the world. And I'm less attractive to the world, and I'm more repulsive to people. And if my job is to serve patients and to serve my community, who wants to come to a doctor that is full of hate and animosity, anxiety and tension? Do you think that doctor would have your best interest at heart? But if I'm sitting from a standpoint that I can be loving, I can be forgiving, I can be kind, I have been shown grace by friends, family, and obviously from my maker, I believe, I can return by showing grace to those that I don't resonate with. And if my body is resonating well and my spirit is resonating well, then everything that goes on in my life, my faith, my family, my friends, my fitness, my finance, my chosen field, the fun that I'm having with people is all at a higher level. It benefits me, it benefits them, it benefits the world. There was a phenomenal story years ago about a man who on his deathbed realized he was a complete failure in his life. He came into the world wanting to change the world. And on his deathbed, he realized that he had done absolutely very, very little that accomplished any great change within the world. And as he was passing, it occurred to him that if I had changed myself, how I thought, how I did things, and how I resonated with the environment around me, that would have had an influence on my wife and my children. And as I changed from the inside out, not from the outside in, as I changed from the inside out, that would have influenced them. And as that influenced that sphere of people, and in my case, that's 5 people, as that sphere of influence from myself changing to my family changing influences them in a positive light, that positive light and that positive energy goes and influences their friends, their spouses, their children now, my grandchildren. And as that now is going on, that not only influencing them locally, but you're also influencing your friends. And as they start to change, it's influencing their family and their friends. So it goes, it's like that old hair commercial, I told 2 people and they told 2 people and they told 2 people and they told 2 people. And from one person telling 2 people to 4 people to 8 people to 16 people, it goes out exponentially. So by simply changing yourself and changing your attitude and your energy, that will influence the people in your life, and that will go and change them and make them more positive and go on and out and out and out. And by changing yourself, you change your local community, you change your state, you change your country, you change your hemisphere, you change the world. But it happens one step at a time, one day at a time, focusing on you. Again, if you're not healthy and well, you can't influence the other 6 areas of your life to achieve the goals that you set for yourself and ultimately have an Ula awesome lifestyle. So this whole conversation started because I had set a goal, simple, just how many days in a row can I go? I went 4,501 days. People go, how crazy was that? You know, there's an age-old saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. I wasn't after 4,500 days, although it became one of those things. How far could I go? To keep me motivated, I used baseball statistics. You know, my first goal, let's hit 1,000 days. Once I hit 1,000 days, I had a patient who had done 1,496 days. So let's get to 1,500. Once I got to 1,500, then my next goal was catch the number of games that Lou Gehrig played consecutively. Once I got Lou Gehrig under my belt, and if you go on my Facebook page, you'll see Lou Gehrig Day. Okay, and that was the day I did 2,132 days of exercising. My next goal was Cal Ripken, then 3,000 hits, then chunk down all the 3,000 hits until I got to Pete Rose. And then Ichiro Suzuki had more because he was in Japan and here in the United States. I got him under control, and then I was going after the number of strikeouts that Nolan Ryan had. It was just one of those crazy things that kept me motivated every day, one day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time. And that's how you'll make the changes in your life, health-wise, fitness-wise, financially, okay, family-wise, friend-wise, fun-wise, and faith-wise. You're going to do it one day at a time, one step at a time. Confucius says journey of 1,000 miles is done by doing one step at a time. So break it down, chunk it down, set your goals. You need help? Shoot me a text. Go into my comment section and shoot me a text. I'll respond to most any comment. Okay, if you're looking for help and guidance, I'm here to help and guide you in the right direction. So with all of that, I'm going to ask you to please pay attention to what's going on with your thoughts, how you're vibrating, and start to make the changes to improve your body, improve your mind, influence your sphere of people, make a change, set your goals, and in the process, have as much fun as you possibly can. You know, here in the office, we have a couple of really basic rules. Always, my staff and I try to show up as the best us possible. We try to learn something from everything we do here every single day. And we charge ourselves as much as we go to make our patients happy. We want to have as much fun as we possibly can. I do not want people coming into an environment and bringing down our energy. So if we show up the best, we learn, and we have fun in the process of doing it, it's a win-win for us, and it influences our patients. We make them laugh. They have a better adjustment. My reputation grows, but most importantly, the reputation of chiropractic goes, and it grows and it flourishes. You know, there are a huge number of deaths that occur every year because of medical mistakes. The number is roughly almost 440,000 people die each year because of a medical mistake. Unfortunately, there are a few people that will pass at the hands of a chiropractor, but that is 6 to 12 statistically on average per year, with over 40 million adjustments being given in a calendar year. So I love to believe that medicine, while it is valuable and it does save lives in crisis intervention, the overuse of medications creates far too many problems for patients in the long run. And you don't have to go very far to look at the ads and list all of the potential side effects that are there with every single medication. And the number of medication you goes on, you have to do it exponentially for the number of side effects that can be going on. And as you get older, the average senior is on between 5 and 9 medications. So my goal, it's purely altruistic. Try to get as many people off of drugs and surgery as I possibly can by offering them not an alternative treatment program, because chiropractic is not necessarily a treatment program. It is more of a lifestyle. Exercises, stretches, nutrition, posture counseling, sleep, de-stress counseling, so that again, your body is reconstructed, the problem is less likely to return over the long haul. And then we guide you into, if that's what resonates with you, as to what is known as wellness. And in the old days, it was maintenance care, but it's tropic care, it's thrival care, it's not survival care. It's so that your body is no longer being bombarded, but it's highly adaptable to the stresses that are there in the world. So as I wrap this up now, I'm going to say, You guys all have a great day. I would love it if you would visit our website, smcc4u.com. I would also love it if you could like our channel, and I would really like it if you would subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and hit the share button, because the more people that know about chiropractic, especially from a standpoint of that we are, there's different types of chiropractors. There's straights, there's mixers, there's relief care oriented, and there's wellness oriented. We are a mixer oriented because I believe in adjusting the spine, but I also adjust extremities. And if I need to, I will invest in utilizing modalities, whether that's ultrasound, cold laser, trigger point, electrical stim, tape you up, use analgesic cream to help you to get to feel a little better, bring down. We use nutritional support here in the office. So in that regards, I'm not a straight, just adjust the spine. I'm a mixer. Okay, and I am definitely holistically oriented. I will meet you where you're at. If your need is and your want and desire is relief care, I will meet you there. But then it's my job to try to let you know that there are alternatives and that chiropractic is a lifestyle that includes exercise, diet, sleep, posture, attitude, regular adjustments, going out and helping others, mentoring, being spiritually connected. And again, any and all of that we can talk about if that's what you choose to when you're here in our office. So I'm holistically oriented as well as mixer oriented, if you want to go in those terms of classifying your doctors. So if you hit like, you hit subscribe, and you hit share, we spread the word of chiropractic. And the more people that are aware of alternative lifestyles, alternative treatment methods, the more I can slowly start to guide people in the right direction. And as Hippocrates said, okay, first, do no harm. Okay, and if 440,000 people are dying each year because of medical mistakes, I think they're forgetting to do no harm. Okay, chiropractic is safe and effective for 99.99% of the patients that come through those doors. Like I said, statistically, 6 to 12 had a bad reaction or worse occur out of over 40 million adjustments. We also have the lowest malpractice rates based on how safe chiropractic is. So with that, I would love to have more people involved, not only in chiropractic in my office, but with the chiropractors in the United States and the chiropractors around the world. Because if we can have healthy bodies, we have healthy minds. And if we have healthy minds, we are going to have less stress, less conflict, and less strife in the world between ourselves and the other people around the world. So this is Dr. Jeff Culbert from Schooley's Mountain Chiropractic saying, have a great and a wonderful Saturday day. Make it a great one. Focus on your goals and pay attention to doing what the oldest woman in the world does. Wake up laughing, go to bed laughing, and laugh as often as you can during the course of the day. You guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week in another video.